So yesterday I posted up on Instagram and asked how everybody feel about a YouTube series documenting everything that's going on here at the StanceWorks shop. And pretty much everybody said I'd be into that, which is, I guess, kind of unsurprising because that's how everybody really consumes their media these days. Maybe we're kind of behind the curve. I know that we should have made this jump a long time ago, but better late than never. There's a lot going on here at the shop. We're kind of always into something, whether it's a big project or a little one, repairing something small, or doing a motor swap, or I guess in today's case, building a hot rod. It seemed kind of fitting, a good way to engage with you guys and maybe create some cool content. We can show you the ins and outs, show you kind of the corners of the shop, and honestly, if you guys like the content that we put together, I can take the opportunity to do something more than record from my phone, which is what I'm doing now. I started using good camera equipment earlier because we have quite a bit of it. And then I realized I have no good way to record sound or to really control anything. And I also have no idea what I'm doing. This is my first rodeo. But phones these days take pretty good video, so I figure it can't really hurt to at least have the first few totally suck. And you guys can at least enjoy the content or something. And if you enjoy it, we'll produce more. We'll get better at it, and kind of our talents will unfold as this continues. We'll have some fun with it. But in the meantime, I'm on a cell phone, and we'll make the best of it. I'm kind of excited to show everybody what we're working on, what's been going on here at this shop. We've been here for a little over 5 years now, and it's, for better or worse, we are, I guess, quote unquote, fully moved in. We've set up shop, and I have made one hell of a mess over the past number of years. But it'll be fun to show you guys. So let's start the tour. So I guess this is quote unquote where they say the magic happens. This is my incredibly messy workbench. It probably looks like absolute chaos now, which is funny because it's normally way worse than this. As said, I'm a very, very messy worker. It's terrible. It's my worst habit, or at least I think so. And I spent all day cleaning up here in the shop, but this is as far as I got. It's surprising I've actually got a good kind of working surface here. Can actually get some building done and have a place to shoot some footage for you guys. So that's where we'll start there. I kind of have some organization going with some tools. Not really. We'll pretend it's better than it is. And then of course opposite that, it's where I've got my project going on. This is kind of where I do pretty much any of the fabrication stuff or the big projects. This is where my last hot rod was built. This is where Rusty was built, and anything that's major. It's just kind of a nice big open space. It's near lots of power outlets, all the tools, things like that. It's the first door inside the shop. It's kind of the hardest one to get a car into just because you kind of have to angle weird to get it right here. So it's a good place for long-term stuff to sit. There is, of course, the lift right here. But truth is, I don't use the lift nearly often enough. I'm one of those kind of lazy workers, so I hate putting a car on it. But when I need it, it's great to have, and quite a number of jobs have, been made way easier on it. Of course, it's currently occupied by my new welder. It's an ancient TIG welder. I have no idea how to use it yet, but it'll be fun. Hopefully, I can make some content and show my successes and failures as I learn to use it. Something to look forward to in some later videos. And then, of course, the trusty Miller MIG welder sits on top of it. That's what I use for pretty much everything. It's really all I know how to use. Over in the corner back here are Andrew's minis and my kind of newer project dirt bike. I haven't done anything with it yet. Andrew's been hard at work on the white Mini, which is what's under the cover, and he's got his new engine that's about to go into it. I think he's pretty close to having it. He needs like a clutch and a flywheel, and it should be ready to go in. He's kind of doing some small stuff here and there, getting it ready, and the project's really taking shape. I'm really excited to see it get closer and closer to completion. The brown one's a bit more of a long-term project. It's got lots of kind of rust repair that's needed, but I think it's going to become a race car once it's done, and I'm sure he can tell you more about it someday. There's my office in the background, lots of part storage up top, temporary part storage on the floor, lots of crappy old suspension components, shear in the back, brake in the back, And way more exciting is the H&R and Motul E28 track car. And this thing's a ton of fun. It's just parked right now. It's waiting for its next opportunity to go out on track or rip up and down the street or whatever's the call of duty. And if you guys are interested, we'll do a kind of a breakdown on this thing too. Kind of go over the ins and outs, talk about what went into it, what went under it, and kind of what makes it what it is. Just kind of let us know what you guys are into seeing and what kind of content we're supposed to be producing here. And then over here is a very expensive parts shelf. Underneath the cover is another E28, surprise, surprise. That one's an M5. It's in pretty bad shape, kind of a long-term project. I'll get to it when I get to it. In the meantime, it's a shelf. It's a storage rack for parts, you know. And then over here is a whole lot of engines. I have a bad habit of letting friends store parts here, you know, for cost-free. Nobody out there get any ideas. But whole lot of motors that who knows what we're ever going to do with. There's an S54 that needs, I think, like a whole rotating assembly. Back there is like an N20, I think. I don't even know where that came from. I think it's blown up. An S38, that one's out of the M5 that's now behind me under the cover. A couple of transmissions. There's a 6-speed Getrag, and then a transmission 6-speed out of a new Mustang, which is actually what came with the Model A. I've got a super low mileage Alisil Block M60 that's sitting here. That actually came from my dad's garage. He bought it when he had an E34 that, you know, the motor came up at the right price. He figured, you know, why not have a spare? But he moved recently, and so now it's here. I'm gonna have to find a use for it. Matches that transmission with a 6-speed, so I have to come up with a good swap for it. And, you know, a handful of other parts. One cool Recaro seat that'll hopefully go in the Land Cruiser at some point. It matches the interior. And then, of course, that leaves, you know, my toolbox. This is what kind of mess I normally work with because I stack everything on any, you know, surface available. And then the Land Cruiser project, which is actually in the shop right now because the transfer case blew up, and I'm gonna have to pull that out probably tomorrow and send it up to Sacramento to get replaced, or rebuilt and replaced, whatever. And that sucks. I typically drive this thing every day, but not now. It's broken, so it is what it is. So back to the build itself. As said, it's a 31 Model A pickup. You'll notice that the frame on the front is super long. It's probably the first thing everybody asks about. And yes, I'm gonna cut it down. I left it long just to give me some room to work, build some front suspension, you know, mount the front grille shell. It's definitely not gonna stay that long. I actually want the wheelbase to be as close to factory as I can get it. I'm not into the really stretched out, kind of rat roddy looking type of stuff. So it'll get chopped off. But I will say I'm going to build my own front suspension setup. It'll be just in front of the motor here. I'm going to, you know, cut off as short as I can. Nothing sticking out in front of the grill. It should be, it won't be classic in design, but it won't be outlandish or gaudy or anything like that. Continuing with the chassis though, I did build it to drop the body down to, you know, I think it's about 5 inches off the ground. You'll notice I am building on the floor and on top of wood. Experts will tell you that that's not the right way to do it, and they're right. But it's a hot rod, who gives a shit? It really doesn't matter. It's going to be good enough for who it's for, at least. I chopped the top about 5 inches, or sorry, 3 inches. I was initially going to do 5 and settled on 3. It's not a crazy chop. It's, you know, just to kind of bring that roof line down a little bit. I don't want it to be, you know, too crazy, too wild, just enough to give that kind of classic look. You'll notice the roof is sheet metal screwed in. This was to replace a vinyl top that was on here before originally. I did not do this. It's how I bought it. It's not good. It's not bad. I'm totally going to leave it because I do not care enough to change it. And I think it fits the theme. I'm definitely not going to paint the truck. I'm going to leave it exactly how it is. kind of embrace. I don't know if I'd call it patina. It's definitely not original. The truck was actually like a canary yellow previously in its life, but it was primered or painted gray or something of the sort at one point in its life, and I'm going to keep it that way. Everything's kind of gray. It kind of matches the motor. Everything on the car will be pretty much monochromatic. And the exciting stuff is currently in the back. This is where I've been putting all my effort in lately. I've got a roll cage going on. It does not go into the cab. I thought about it. It would eliminate what little headroom I currently have and keep the body from being removable. So just kind of a rear cage, rear hoop roll bar. Kind of looking towards kind of some Baja trucks for inspiration. You'll see kind of the mount that's up here. That's the upper mount for the radiator. Will be a rear-mounted radiator back here. Fuel cell, tiny battery, which I think is sitting around here somewhere. And you can see it over there, past my finger in the camera. On the desk, little itty-bitty guy. Stuff like that. Most of what I can, I'm going to mount in the back, try to keep the weight pretty balanced. It will be mid-engine, the engine will be behind the front wheel center line, so that'll be kind of cool. Got a Ford 9-inch rear axle with a spool in it, or posi, or whatever you guys want to call it, whatever your preferred term is. Triangulated 4-link with geometry that's okay, it works, nothing too crazy. ATL fuel cell, 15-gallon aluminum, good for whatever kind of fuel we want to throw in it. A few bells and whistles here and there. Lots of progress to go. It's certainly not finished back here, but this is where I've been focused. And this will give you a little bit of a taste of what this build's going to be about. I'm definitely kind of focusing on something a bit like a race truck, a little bit inspired by, vintage kind of hot rod race stuff, a little bit of trophy truck. It will be a road truck. It's not going to have any off-road tires or anything, but just pulling flavors from different places, kind of looking to different places for inspiration. As far as the motor, it's a Ford Coyote V8. I think it's got 425 or 15 or 420 horsepower, something like that. It's bone stock. It's got 60-something thousand miles on it. Looks like it's in pretty good health. Picked it up on Craigslist locally for a killer deal. Came with basically an entire car minus the body, which is pretty nice. Went with this. I wanted to keep it all Ford. Wanted to keep, or I guess avoid the BMW thing again. I don't want that to be a shtick or kind of make it a Mike Burroughs cliche. I love BMWs, but I love everything else too. If it's got wheels on it, I like it. So I figured, why not keep it all Ford this time around? And that's going to include most of the suspension components and pieces, the front uprights, stuff like that. So hints there as to what's going to be going on up front. Brakes, etc. All Ford. I backed this transmission with a tiny backed the engine with a tiny transmission, which you can see kind of lurking in here. If you know, you know. It's a Jericho 4-speed transmission dog box, so it should be a real handful to drive. Will be, clutchless shifting, banging gears. Like I said, race truck, should be extreme. And hopefully I'll get some more power out of the motor too. That's tons of power. It's like more than 100 horsepower more than the last truck had. But I want even more than that. I want to go totally crazy with it. We'll see how it turns out. And so with that, that's the end of our first episode. I know we didn't really dive into the truck and kind of go through, all the details and what exactly I'm doing and the thoughts behind it. And that's what a lot of people wanted, but this one's already getting kind of long. But it gives us something to look forward to for the next one. So let us know what you want to see. Let me know what you like and also what to avoid. Give me some constructive criticism, some good feedback. And in the meantime, thanks for watching. Thank you for supporting us, and we'll see you guys in the next one.